Hello, everybody. Once again, it's Greg from Bug Out Gear Layouts and Tactics, a prepping site Facebook page, and Urban Safety Survival.net. So this week I asked the question. The question was, everyone preps for different reasons. What are you prepping for? So the answers were, in the moment I'll assess the situation as I proceed to bug out. A simple easy out all around bag capable of a day or two of holding it down, silently gaining entry and equipment with or without the cost of human life should help better understand or at least recognize the enemy, which around this country we all know who that is. Another person's reply was the stupid zombie apocalypse. Did a post on that one, video. To preppers, it means the unprepared, right? In response to that one, it was a huge letdown. The zombie apocalypse never came. Somebody else wrote, should be prepping for everything. Another one was natural disasters, disasters of the government, anything and everything. Another one was natural disasters such as tornadoes, ice storms, or the big one from the New Madrid fault. Somebody snuck in an ad. Economic collapse, natural disasters, and slower response like Hurricane Katrina. Prep for no power, that will cover everything. No water, no stores, no 911, no fuel, sorry. The zombies will come about day 4 or 5. Again, in survival and prepping, we consider the unprepared zombies, right? The hordes that are going to be out there looking to take what you have. It's a simple response for me, right? We have to prepare for basically anything and everything depending on where you live. Again, I live on the East Coast of the United States, so what I really have to worry about is I'm still in the middle of hurricane season. Number Jackson this year. Thankful for that. But that's the area I'm in. So the natural disaster that, I keep in mind with my preps and such are hurricanes. In the Facebook group, we started a chat this week. In response, I was in the chat along with a couple of the other moderators and admins. One of the conversations in the chat was with somebody else from here in New Jersey, who was blocked from the beach as a responder to Hurricane Sandy. I worked for days on end. We didn't get relief until the FEMA task forces were sent in from out of state, and that only relieved us for a couple hours because we were bird dogging it with everybody. They didn't know the area. So one of us had to be with them to show them the way anyway. But he did bring up a good point. The point was some roads, well, for him, most of the roads had guards. They had special tags that they had to hang to prove that you lived in the area to get in or out. They would sneak in at night to not be seen. I remember responding to an assist for the state police, because they were literally capsizing canoes and kayaks and small little boats of people that were trying to loot right smack in the middle of the hurricane, and the parts of town and neighboring towns where they were flooded out and people had to evacuate, right? So that brings up another point in the page that was mentioned this week, right? If you have to evacuate, right? We shouldn't have all our preps, all your stores, all your caches, or all your eggs in one basket, right? Because what happens if you have to leave? What happens if something happens to your home or wherever you have your supplies at? If everything's in that one location and something happens, you lose it all, right? Sometimes buildings completely burn to the ground. Sometimes they get to the fire in time enough to stop it from spreading, right? It happens. Um, Again, in New Jersey, I was not far from where a tornado hit us some while back. Hit like 2 towns over. But yeah, I drove through the area where it literally cut a new warehouse into two, right? Right smack down the middle, two portions of the warehouse, right? With a gaping hole down the middle. Um, it's a possibility, right? It's not something that we worry about here on the East Coast too much, but again, it's a possibility. We have had earthquakes here. Um, Again, right now we're under a flood warning or flood watch, whichever is the minimum one. I don't recall right now. For a couple of days, right? It started today. It goes to like Sunday or something. Um, that happens. You know, we get heavy rain. It happens in any area where you get large amounts of rain in a small amount of time, and the ground can't soak it up fast enough. You're gonna get flooding. Small rivers and streams, some big rivers will overflow. Um, the Mississippi is one of them. Um, Good heavy rain along one of the states that have it. Further down, it just floods out. It happens all the time. Um, those are things we have to worry about, right? Um, Look at the climate today. Look at, I don't like to get into politics, but look at what's going on. Not just here, abroad. Um, Anything can happen, right? Um, you may have to leave. You may have to leave at a moment's notice. Something bad's happening. You gotta get up and you gotta go, right? So everybody prepares for different stuff, right? Again, I tend to try to, and in our classes, and with what we teach and what I teach, we try to get everybody to prepare for what is reasonable for you, right? Again, in the western part of the United States, you may be more worried and have to prepare more for earthquake style natural disasters compared to hurricanes, right? We have what's called Tornado Alley in the Midwest, right? They get used to tornadoes, they get them often. Most people have storm shelters, tornado shelters built on the ground, right? We see them in the movies, and everybody rushes to get into them, right? What is local to you or that you might encounter, that's what you should be preparing for, right? A couple of years back, we used to constantly get blackouts in the summer, right? Um, right, so we would lose power, so we bought a generator, right? Matter of fact, for Sandy, and I responded on the Facebook page. I sent the family to the in-laws with the generator, with the dog, and just frequently stopped by the house to check up on it. But they had the generator set up. I wound up being lucky, wound up having a chance to go to Walmart. I was in Walmart when one of the employees there, I heard over their radio, they just got a load of generators and shop vacs in, and I went straight to the back, and as they were rolling out that pallet of generators, she was like, "You want one?" I was like, "Yep, I'll take one." So now pretty much I have 2 generators. I got the little EBL 1000 watt solar one. That's what I'm running the camp on right now. Testing it out. So I got I had a smaller generator. Now I have one that runs the whole house. Right. So if a blackout happens, if a hurricane happens, and we lose power, I can run off the generator of the house. We keep gas stored up, just in case to run the generator. The winter for the snowblower, the summer for the lawnmower. After a while, it goes in the car and gets refilled to keep it rotating, just like we would with regular preps. But again, prepare for something that is likely to happen. Sometimes some people have this far off notion, and that's what they want to prep for, and can't really stop them, right? If you're gonna prep. Read an article today that younger people, millennials, Gen Xers are now stocking up 24%, are buying what they would call survival gear, right? Stocking up, right? Here in the United States, elections right around the corner. Who knows what's gonna happen, right? With everything that's going on. So stock up, keep prepping, prep for something that, like I said, is likely going to happen. The one is like preparing for it all. No power, no stores, no 911, right? That might happen. That's especially in some very rural areas where, I have towns in the state that have no local police. You have the state police or you have nobody. I know other states that are like that too, and police ain't local. They have no local police, and they have the county sheriff come in or the state police come in, and they're not close, right? We say when you see one trooper on the roadways, there's 2 or 3 more, right? Because they run single cars. They don't like to be too far apart from each other. They don't want to have a 30-minute response time if an officer calls for help. So if you see one, there's going to be 2 or 3 more. Right? But in rural areas, we don't have that. You may have the one cop patrolling that side of the county, and that response time may be 20 minutes, right? So we have to keep that in mind. But you should be preparing for what is more likely to happen to you in the area you're in. That's what you should prepare for. Once again, just another Friday night chat. I'll let you know how the EBL 1000 is going for me. It's been going pretty good. Noticing that stuff that I thought would run on a lot more wattage isn't really running on that much wattage. So it's pretty good. It's teaching me some stuff as well as doing what I can hope it'll do. So stay prepared. Keep your head on a swivel. Holidays are coming. Something may or may not happen with all the alerts we're getting, especially here in the United States with everything going around the Middle East and in Europe. Just stay safe. Keep your head on your swivel. Think about your family. Keep them safe. And keep prepping. All right? Again, if you're joining the Facebook page, please answer all the questions. Like, subscribe, and comment on the YouTube channel. Again, if you have anything you want me to talk about, any reviews, any skills you want to see, put them in the comments below, and I'll make sure I get to that for everyone. All right, thank you and have a good night.